Well, I arrived early here at my lunch appointment in Texas. Just flew in last night from extraordinary time in Atlanta, planting and feeding and blowing on the seeds of apostolic renewal with an interracial community of powerful intercessors and pastors and leaders. But I just want to give you guys a quick update. In the wake of the ISIS attack, what I believe is happening now is, and watch what happens, watch how the devil does this. So this ISIS attack is going to increase. There are going to be other incidents like this. There'll be a dirty nuclear bomb or something like that that'll follow up at some point. What's going to happen is the global, liberal, progressive, secularists, the force that is at work right now all over the world, United States, Australia, and all sheep nations, by the way. The great enemy is the progressive liberal agenda. It's not Muslims. It's progressive. Remember this, prophesying this. The enemy is going to be this weird variant weed that gets into the root system of democracy and perverts it out of its own freedom, kind of like infiltrates it like a toxic, kind of like malware gets into a software program. Now, the proof of that is that the response of the West is going to be, as London is doing, increased monitorization of freedom of speech. Now, of course, this is what the devil wants. He wants everyone to have to be monitored by the state to approve or disapprove of their conversation, because it's just one small step from ISIS to monitoring Christian conversation that is perceived to be a threat to the state and non-safe conversation. You see how easy that is? The loss of liberty comes when there's a loss of morality in Christian culture. When Christian culture deteriorates, freedom always goes next. Because lawlessness comes in, and lawlessness requires more law, and more law requires loss of freedom. Remember that. Christian culture is the only thing that guarantees freedom. Remove Christian culture and you have lawlessness. You have lawlessness, you have to have more law enforcement. Now, the real threat is Bette Midler, because she is a respected, iconic, everybody loves Bette, kind of like Mae West, 21st century Mae West, swinger singer from Hollywood. And her tweet is what is the death knell of Christian civilization. It's the only thing that could push back on the anarchy or loss of liberty that Satan is going to play with during our lifetime is the resolve of the West to appreciate that it needs to have stronger, not weaker, moral influence, absolutes, and values reinforced in culture and in popular culture, movies, films, songs, etc. They have a responsibility to not tear down the moral structure, but they can't agree on what the moral structure is, hence the problem. But here's what Bette Midler said, it drives me crazy. She says the real problem here is we need to get rid of men and religion. So you see, this wasn't an Amish attack on London Bridge. This wasn't a Presbyterian attack. This wasn't, the Peace Corps. This wasn't the Boy Scouts. This wasn't a male organization. It wasn't the San Francisco Giants or the 49ers, rather, the New York Giants. What you have here is what the West does. It rejects and lumps together religion. Of course, the feminists put men in that group too. It's like Kathy Griffin's crazy explanation for her psychic meltdown there as a comedian, blaming men that she's been up against her whole life. So I'm just saying this to you because if Bette Midler, who is the icon of normal, the crown princess of cool in popular culture, when she says religion and men are the problem here, and not Islam and radical Islam in particular, that's the end of the West. Now, of course, I'm catastrophizing that for you because you're part of the underground, but I wanted you to get this message because you have to have ears to hear where the real threat is. The real threat is the progressive left rejecting religion, because that is so obvious to me. It goes right along with the loss of freedom of communication and technology. Monitor all technology and get rid of religion. That's what the progressive left is already is going to propose as a solution. Of course, they mean monitor you, because you're the religion that threatens them most, because you've got Jesus. Talk to you later.